Streaming. It says I'm live. Cool beans. Welcome, internet. Just learned of something that truly energized me. Someone who has been quite a despicable figure for several years now was called to account for lying to the American people. Well, this is one particular lie that was called out, but she was lying, incentivizing people to get experimental medications that proved to do more harm than good, saying that you would be protected if you got a certain injection that did not work as she said. She said you get this injection, you'll be protected against a disease that it did not protect against at all. Everyone I know who got that injection that she was celebrating ended up getting the disease more times, and it lasted longer than me. And I did not buy into the hype because the people who are pushing the injections were the same companies that caused the opiate epidemic that killed millions of people across the world, thousands of people a day. Got people addicted to heroin. Um, but yeah, this person is on MSNBC, Microsoft MSNBC. Um, yeah, so it was remarked that she looks like Bill Gates. I could see that, but yeah, but for the past better half of a decade, she's been trying to stir up a conflict with Russia, which I think is disgusting. Russia, for those who don't know, Russia was played a big part in advancing the civil rights movement in the United States. Because when the United States would go to these other countries and say, "Hey, you better improve in this. Why aren't you doing this? You're not a democracy." Russia would be like, "Okay, but what about the black people that you're abusing and killing over there?" And yeah, and then like a lot of civil rights figures like Martin Luther King, they were called communists, said that they were working with Russia, they were in cahoots, when it was really just people standing against corporate thieves, murderers, psychopaths that she works for. The person who called this disgusting, vile excuse for a human being out, someone who I had respect for prior to this, actually reached out to him. He was in the Venezuelan uh, um, the the embassy when they were trying to take it from uh, 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 the actual president. Um, Back it was like I think it was 2018. They were trying to make Juan Guaido, some random nobody who never got voted for, into the president and say he was the actual president when he wasn't. And one of the people who was standing in the Venezuelan embassy was Max Blumenthal. I reached out to him. I wanted to go out there, and DC didn't. I was saving up the money, but by the time uh, I had enough money, they had already been kicked out. Um, they had Secret Service agents going in there, all kinds of shady dealings going on. But he's continuing the journey, and this was a beautiful thing to watch because people like Rachel Maddow loves to hear herself talk these fucking bullshit talking points that she didn't even write up. She's a Rhodes Scholar, Cecil Rhodes, who the scholarship is named after, was a vile, murderous colonizer. Um, he stole resources from Africa, stole entire countries, named the country Rhodesia. I think it's Zimbabwe now. But yeah, she learned at his feet. She thought that this disgusting, vile excuse for a human being was worthy of learning. Now she's like in support of the Nazis in the Ukraine, and this is how Max Blumenthal greeted her when she was going on some speech at something called TrueCon, and it's called TrueCon because all the people there are true cons. They're truly conning you with their propaganda. But this was the encounter.
Overthrowing the U.S. government. And members of Congress who were sympathetic. Rachel, this speech is boring and paranoid. Can you explain why you promoted the why did you promote the Steele dossier, which has been proven to be a lie? Why did you promote the lie of Russian bounties? Come on. Can you ever be held accountable for the lies you told Americans for years and years and years?
Can, can she be held accountable? I would like to hope so. Will she? Not by the motherfuckers who cut her check, because they're the same people who control our government. But once we have the revolution, people like this, yeah, they will be dealt with swiftly and beautifully. And it's funny because I used to actually watch the show leading into her show when she first started. Keith Olbermann, another disgusting person, Russia Gator. Um, and here's just the recipe to know if someone is worthy of listening to. If they're trying to, if they work for a corporate entity like MSNBC, and they're trying to get you to hate another group of people instead of the corporations that are pilfering us, killing us, poisoning us, doing all this shady shit to us, they are not your friend. They are your enemy, right? You should love all people, hate corporations. Corporate people are the most disgusting people. And that's all she represents. She will never admit she was wrong. She will never say, "Oh shit, I got it wrong when I told you to get that injection that didn't protect you. When I said you would end this disease, that was all bullshit." Right? Because if it actually worked, like she said it worked, there'd be nobody would have to concern themselves with if other people got the jab. Um, but it didn't work like she said, and she knew it. That's why she was just like, "Oh, you got to make sure everybody gets it." No, her boss was profiting heavily off of that jab, and that's where her paycheck was coming from. So it depended on her paycheck depended on her lying to you, and she was telling a whole story about Trump having hookers pee on him, and that's why he was compromised and he was working with the Russians. Meanwhile, this bitch is working for True Evil. MSNBC is an evil entity. But let's just see how.
You lied to Americans for years.
For years.
You're out. You're out. There you go. You want my badge? There you go. I'm walking out. You can go this way. Which way? Rachel Maddow refusing to answer questions about lying about the Steele dossier, lying about Russian bounties, and doing a paranoid speech claiming Nazism is afoot in America.
See, and this is where we break ways, because I do believe there are Nazis afoot in America. They infiltrated every branch of our government. You could argue it started with the CIA with Operation Paperclip. But shit, I would say that they've been around since before then. Prescott Bush, he worked hand in hand with Hitler, helped Hitler's rise to power. Then all of a sudden, his son is in charge of the CIA, and he became president. Then his grandson became president. It's like, yeah, they want to bring British style royalty to our politics. We have career politicians who don't identify at all with the common man because they don't have to do shit to be rich as fuck. They just continue to exploit, use their connections to the government to build their corporations, fascism. That's why when people say when during World War II, Germany lost, but fascism won because they were funded by the British government. Then we brought them in. We gave them good paying jobs in our CIA. And then they tainted our media, all of our branches of government. Now it's just all of our politicians are in the pockets of these corporations. This is what fascism is. This is, she is I mean, she is right to be paranoid about Nazis in our government. But yeah, she's making it seem like the Nazis aren't her bosses. Uh, Bill Gates, his both his parents collaborated with Nazis. Uh, he didn't even create Microsoft as we know it. He got someone else to do it, and he had connections with IBM because his parents worked there, and they were looking for like that. They used IBM computers to keep track of the people who they were slaughtering. So yeah, there are Nazis. She just works for them, and yeah, she's making it seem like it's Russia is the problem. It's really this bitch.
I'm being thrown out by security now. There was no Q&A. If there was Q&A, I would have politely asked a question.
and and of course, there's no Q&A because they don't want questions. Um, they want to just give the narrative to you and to have you blindly swallow it, believe it. But I think more and more people are waking up to it. Um, it's I mean, a lot of the stuff, I'm saying, like, especially when it comes to like the injections that she was pushing. Like, I have family who was um, fighting with me about like, oh man, that's crazy, that's crazy. What you think that the government lying to us? You think the government like doesn't care about our health? Like, obviously, why don't we have Medicare for all? If they actually cared, it's a pandemic. Where's the free health care? Like we have, you're more likely to die from cancer because our water is being poisoned. But they're not like taking away the power from the companies who are doing it. Um, but like it was greeted with a lot of hostility. Now the same family members are coming to me like, hey, you think what you think about this, what you think about that, because they realize they trusted people like her. They were led astray and lied to, and now they need a second opinion whenever like some mysterious information, whenever like some shock doctrine is being enforced, and that gives me a promise. It gives me like a reason to know that things are going to get better because people are waking up to it. Like at least they're starting to question people like this. But they won't allow people to actually question her, which is why Max Blumenthal had to interrupt. But more power to him. I love to see more stuff like that. I had a few confrontations with politicians who are doing similar stuff. I called out a few Russia Gators myself, but they never answer the question. They make the comments that they answer the question that they wish I would have asked instead of answering the question that I actually asked. So we're gonna need people to continue doing stuff like that. I wish I had the money to be at all these events so I could do it myself because it is rejuvenating. Um, to be able to call these people out, see the shock in their face when someone just doesn't believe anything that they're saying to the in person. Hey yo, Nate, that hat big league as fuck. Nate, you the man. No, you the man. And you don't even know my pronouns, bro. Never asked me my pronouns a day in my life. Now you're gonna tell me I'm the man? That's incredibly assumptive. And you know what they say, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Love you always, but I love you back nonetheless, because I have an agape love for you. I think everybody watching deserves health care no matter how much you hate me. I think you deserve a right to a future without the possibility of nuclear winter. I think we should. I think you deserve a future without investing in fucking nuclear weapons to kill people. Shit. Now, I just was reminded we were watching a movie with the dude from The Wire. the dude who was always saying "shit." That was like his catchphrase. It was Cocaine Bear. Finally got around to seeing that masterpiece. No, we got like um, a free DVD with the receipt, and I had to bust out. I got like this little machine. It's like a little DVD side thing because I don't have an actual DVD player. It took forever to get that shit figured out, and then, you know, it's like Ray Liotta's last movie before he died, and you know we just went through all this rigmarole to get the movie playing. Um, wasn't all that good a movie. Interesting concept, you know, it was based on a true story, a bear with a cocaine addiction. Uh, but it just made me want to watch The Wire. My girl still hadn't seen, like, I guess she saw the first episode. But it's like one of those shows where you got to get in a few seasons to really, like, when it starts, like, really picking up. But then you can't just cut to the good seasons. I mean, it's not like the first few seasons are bad, but you got to watch the first few seasons to understand the next few seasons. So, I don't know. We're gonna figure that out. But The Wire, uh, yeah, just reminded me of it. You dropping a movie review for it? Am I? I mean, I did have a few other movie reviews ahead of it in the queue. Those are going to be at NatesVlogs.net. Um, but yeah, you know, I could make something like that happen. I gotta find. Uh, I used to have a site where I can go and get like movies downloaded to use the clips. You know, I might do just like a movie review off of trailer or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's harder to get full movies to get like the parts of the movies I want to reference. So, um, but I do have like some stuff already downloaded for upcoming rewinds. So yeah, that'll be later in the queue. You know, if that's something you want to see me do, it could be done, but it won't be here. It'll be nateflix.net, and I don't have it on my screen. But that's where the rewinds and employee evaluations get uploaded. I'm from Baltimore. The Wire, my shit. Baltimore, man. You know, it's a beautiful area. I know it's got its problems, especially. I'm sure it probably got worse since I was out there, and we ran into a few people dealing with mental illness while we were there. But you know, like it was like we were by the pier area. We didn't get to go to the, what is it, the aquarium. But I hear the aquarium is the shit. Um, yeah, but you know, it's been a while. It's been over a decade since I've been out there. But you know, this summer is gonna be the summer of travel. I already got like a um, trip to California taken care of, was being paid from this organization I've been working with, and and then I'm going on a family trip to Mexico, so I'm looking forward to that. Um, yeah, a lot of travel this year. Last year, oh shit, last few years. I mean, you know, I guess I went to Hawaii last year, but that was like yeah, I went to Cali last year too. But this year I'm going to be doing more travel because yeah, got opportunities to save up more money. Med beds, bro. Med beds. Is that like is that a plug or something? I don't know what that is. That like you is that a reference to the opiate epidemic? It's like a pill mill. Hey, you go to the pill mill and you sleep in a med bed where you inject some fentanyl in your arm and pass out. I don't know what a med bed is. Your Godzilla rewind is the greatest thing ever. Did I even upload that on my Rumble yet? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it. I might have to do that because you know I've been reluctant to upload the rewinds over 10 minutes. Um, well, mostly because you know I can't do it on these social media sites, but then fuck these social media sites. I could just do like sometimes I'll just do like a little clip of the actual rewind and then upload the full thing on my Rumble and put it on my website. But I'll look and see if that's over on my Rumble. If it's not, I'll put it over there. And yeah, I got a few other 10 plus minute rewinds that I got to upload to. But yeah, I started uploading um, stuff from the 2016 through 2020 election. I made a video explaining, how my views have changed. Well, not my views have changed, just the politicians have exposed themselves to the point where it's just like I don't want people to think that I associate with them at all. Period. People like Bernie Sanders, totally exposed, garbage human being. Well, I'm not. I'm. Let me say rephrase it. I don't know if he's as much a garbage human being, or he's just being threatened by the CIA and the FBI. But whatever it is, him telling us to fall in line behind a Klan member, eulogy provider like Joe Biden, who raised a crackhead while locking up black kids for way less crack. Um, yeah, he's just, it's not the business. Bernie Sanders, everything he's about right now is something I just can't fuck with. I mean, we went through his whole campaign was we need to get health care for all. It's a human right. Then we have a pandemic, and instead of giving us health care, he funnels hundreds of billions of dollars um, to Nazis in the Ukraine. That those are his priorities. Like I said, he could be getting threatened. They could have like a bomb implanted in his testicles. I don't know. Um, but yeah, whatever it is, I am just so disappointed with the direction he's going. Where in Cali, bro? I'll be in NorCal, Northern California, not too far away from my hometown. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it'll be. I went to Northern California last year, but well, shit, I think this year too. No, I went to Southern California last year. I went to NorCal this year, beginning of the year, but that was more San Jose. I'll be much closer to Vallejo, but yeah, it's gonna be like a convention situation. What do you think about the increase of the debt limit? Man, I think that I wouldn't have a problem with the increase of the debt limit if we were going into debt doing the right things. We're going into debt killing people, destroying countries, so we can steal their resources. And when I say we, I mean the corporations who run us, right? Meanwhile, none of that debt. We're not going into debt, giving us health care for all. None of that. No, nobody's going into debt like taking care of the homelessness epidemic. If anything, we're just going into more debt so corporations can own all of the houses, right? Um, we don't need to increase the debt limit if we wipe these corporations out, right? So all of that welfare that they got, we take it back because corporations shouldn't be a thing. Corporations are used by colonial powers to subvert democratic governments, to subvert your democracy, right? Um, when you have corporations that have the ability to have more power than your government, like our government, right? Because our government completely run by corporations, you don't have democracy. They give you uh, 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 they talk like you have a democracy. They pretend all this stuff. They give you something. They call Democrats and Republicans. It's neither a republic nor a democracy. It's a farce. So we don't need to increase the debt limit. What we need to do is just overthrow these corporations, and in their place, just put locally owned everything. Like to dedicate all that money to locally owned businesses. All the lobbyists, we put them out of business. There's no reason they should exist. Lobbyists is a professional corruption creator, Their whole purpose is to corrupt your politics, right? But every fucking corporation has them, and they openly lobby. Like it's just like your politician is just talking to a lobbyist right now, figuring out how to fuck you over. It should be illegal, right? We get rid of all these mechanisms. We don't need to increase the debt limit. We got more than enough money to take care of all of our problems, right? You have single individuals who have taken enough government welfare to wipe out homelessness, wipe out world hunger. They do not do it. They hide their taxes. They don't even want to pay the government that they get their money from, that they get their welfare from, their fair share in taxes. So they hide that shit overseas. They talk to people like Jeffrey Epstein to hide that money, so they don't pay the government that paid them. Right? Think about how fucked up that is. This shit needs to be curtailed. It needs to be ended. They need to be locked up. Um, but yeah, they got hundreds of thousands of new FBI agents with guns, and they're not going after the rich. They're going after you. Right? So I wouldn't have an issue with the debt limit being raised, um, if we actually got rid of these corporations. But if we did that, we wouldn't need to raise the debt limit. So I guess I do. And it's like an unlimited paycheck. It's like, what can you do? What do they have the imagination to do? It's just making more money. And it's just like they don't, all of this stuff that we think that they create. Like, people think that fucking uh, uh, Elon Musk is some brilliant motherfucker. He's not. Right? He just has a bunch of money that he got from his dad being a fucking emerald apartheid miner. Um, and he uses that. He just comes up with ideas and gets other people to pay for it. Because they have like ARPA, which is now DARPA. They created the internet. They created all these advanced technologies that we use. That's where they get all these scientists, and then these corporations patent their creations, like the capacitive touchscreen created by those government scientists, patented by Apple. It's like the people who patent it, they don't have anything to do with it, but they get touted as the geniuses who created it, even though they had nothing to do with it. Right? So instead of like having these people like going to these the world's best minds and saying, hey, how do we make killer robots with guns on them, so when the revolution starts I can protect myself. Instead of having these motherfuckers figuring out how to fuck us over, we should be like, hey, how do we get all this sludge out of our water and maybe like turn that into a fuel source? Like, how do we just take some of this dirty fucking water that these corporations dumped all these toxins in, and then we pour that shit into a car instead of gasoline, and then we get the sludge out, get to where we got to be, and have a clean can of water to drink. No toxins, no forever chemicals poisoning us. How do we do that? How do we get the lead out of our air, water, and soil? We should be doing that, but right now we don't have the political power, and the people who do, all they have is greed. All they can think about is making more money. So I'm looking forward to that French style revolution. That's why I made Revolution the musical, coming to a theater near you. Just talking to someone about being in a position where I could actually direct it, because I've had scenes from it put on in a theater. I had no creative control. Part of it was taken out. Major parts were taken out. I didn't have any say in the actors. Didn't have any say in in any of it. What they created was a horrible thing. But by the time I direct it, it's going to be a totally different beast, and we'll have a French style revolution in America where we actually go into Black Rock out here with pitchforks and torches. You ever considered doing stand up, because your off the cuff stuff is hilarious too? Um, Believe it or not, I did stand up before I did YouTube. Yeah, YouTube, my first channel, one of the first videos was when I started posting my stand up. I needed a place to post it, so I did little trailers of some of my stand up. When I would be going to an area. or areas I went to. Yeah, but I haven't done it. Well, I've done it one time since the pandemic, like last year or 2021. So yeah, it's like a different beast now. Pretty much everything um, public has changed. So it's just like I don't know. It left a bad taste in my mouth. Um, just all of the pandemic precautions. Um, but um, I'll do it again. Um, yeah, just I gotta find a good place, a good venue. Oh, and the last place I went, because I only went to one venue in Seattle before I went to the last place, and I had issues with the manager. Well, he had issues with my dog, but so I ended up going to like a different one. They said it was a mix of music and stand up. I was the only comedian there. Everybody else was doing music. I felt hella out of place. So everybody was just like, ready for like some smooth, seductive sounds. I just did some stand up. But, uh, it is what it is. It's still fun. Still fun. Appreciate the informative messages as always. Well, I do what I can, what I got. Love you again, Nate. Got to bounce though. Always gonna rock with you, fam. Well, I appreciate you showing up. I'm about to bounce myself, rock and a roll with so much soul, cause I can rock till 101 years old. But yeah, so I'm about to bounce. So, but I appreciate you guys for showing up. Everybody across the social media spectrum, and yeah, the new rewinds and employee evaluations can be seen at NatesVlogs.net. And I'll let you guys know as soon as I get this director spot. Well, I gotta finish negotiating that, but I'm looking forward to it. Like I'm supposed to be working on it's a play I'm supposed to be a part of, but just creative differences, and um, yeah, so it's just like a lot of stuff is it's hard for me to get hyped up to like want to promote anything, but when I have more creative control, I'll let you guys know, and yeah, hopefully it'll be on tour in your town, even if you're not near me. So don't forget to be good to each other, you, and I'll holler at you later. Peace. End it.